Good morning, everyone. Dale and I are very excited to be with you today and also to show our gratitude towards the Chamber and its members who have been so wonderful to work with and supportive of our education and our work-based learning programs in our school systems all around. So that way our students do have an opportunity to see what's available to them in our local community. And so today we are going to share briefly with you a little bit about Surry-Yadkin Works and the program. And then we're going to have some good time to have some conversations and talk about possibilities, suggestions, all kinds of things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I am going to share my screen with you so you can see. Hopefully you see our logo.
Yes,
and we see that. So hopefully you see the logo. And we feel like our program is doing just that, driving our future workforce. And we're very excited about this opportunity because it is 5 education systems that are working together to prepare our students to support our regional economy. So this is the first time we have Elkin City Schools, Mount Airy City Schools, Surry County Schools, Yadkin County Schools, all working under this umbrella that feeds into Surry Community College to really work together for a regional effort to educate our youth on what's available to them, but then also to really make an impact on our local businesses by providing them local talent in a workforce. And we'll share a little bit more about that as well. So we believe that our program helps connect the dots of life for our students, and that's connecting education, business, and government. We are very fortunate that the Surry County Commissioners and our Yadkin County Commissioners have funded our program. They see the value in this program for our students and for our local communities. And this really helps our students understand what we're doing at the education system really relates to the workplace, but it also helps educators make sure what they're doing, it does connect and create relevancy. So this connects those dots for students and gives them a pathway to follow. So our team consists of myself, Dale Badgett, who you're going to hear from here in a few minutes, and then Olivia Pizzuti, who is actually an intern, but she is a paid intern with us, and she does our social media and marketing. Now, I work in the Surry County area mainly, and Dale works in the Elkin and Yadkin area, and that helps our business partners have one contact based on geographical location. So how is Surry-Yadkin Works different than typical internships that you've seen? All of our school systems have really great internship programs. We are just expanding that internship program on a different level. The first thing that makes it different is we set up the business partners first. We meet with businesses and we build a relationship with them. We learn what their needs are and what kind of positions that they're interested in having a paid intern in. Then we go and recruit the interns or the students for those positions. So we interview students, have references, all of that is done on the school-based level to make sure it is a good fit. That's where the matchmaking piece comes in. Then the third part is the business interviews and selects the intern. So let's say a business says, I need a customer service representative. We may take them 3 applicants. They then interview the students and then they select the student that they want. We do help with the onboarding of them and the paperwork with HR, but the business makes the decision about who hires who. Then another huge key piece that's so important is we do the internship training with the students through Surry Community College. So our business partners have all said they want our students to have soft skills. So we do the training with that first. That's employer expectations, communication, time management, all those skills that a lot of times people don't learn until they get out into the workforce. We're trying to front load that for them so they understand that. And then throughout the internship experience, we do public speaking, Microsoft Office, Excel, and Outlook, DISC behavioral, introduction to lean manufacturing, personal finance, OSHA 10, and more employability skills such as job interview, resume building, things like that. And then they have an internship experience. It's a minimum of a 3-hour time frame because that allows them to actually work while they're there for 12 hours a week. And it can go up from there. It can go, some students are working 20 hours a week and some students are working more. We'll give you some student examples about their internships here in just a moment. So students are learning and earning at the same time. They are typically enrolled in college courses, so they're getting high school credit and college credit. They typically earn an hourly rate at their internship, but they also receive $125 a month stipend from the program to if they have good to excellent performance. And they also receive another $125 a month stipend for transportation. If a student does not have transportation to and from their internship, we'll make sure they get there. They just would not receive that transportation stipend. And that's really important for students to know that we will get them there if they need to, or help them out with that $125 a month transportation stipend, because it's quite expensive for the student, because they are typically going to high school, going to college courses, going to work, possibly going to athletics. They have a lot of traveling around. And so this helps the students with their expenses. And then the program has a textbook reimbursement program as well. And then all of the trainings that I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, those are all for free for the students provided through the program. And those are some really good trainings like the OSHA and the DISC that we know cost businesses a lot of money to provide for their employees. So that's a huge benefit to the students that all of that is taking care of them. So our internship program is really trying to work on providing them with the skills that the businesses have told us that the student needs. And then we're trying to provide the business with the type of employee that they have said that they need. So I want to share with you a little bit about our inaugural cohort. The program just started this spring, where all the school systems have combined to do this. And we started with 50 interns. So this gives you a little bit of information about where those interns are from. Now, so you'll notice that Surry County Schools has a large number. Surry County Schools had a very similar program to this previously called the Next Generation Career Academy. So they had plenty of students waiting for this who had already applied for this. Elkin City Schools and Mount Airy City Schools and Yadkin County Schools came on between October and November. So for them to have 15 and us only having about a month and a half to prepare for that was really exciting that many students wanted to take advantage of this right off the get-go. And we know those numbers are going to increase by a large amount, especially with Dale's presence over in the Elkin and the Yadkin area. So those numbers, we foresee those numbers evening out a little bit more, but hopefully still high numbers like we see there with Surry County Schools. So where are they interning? They're interning in a wide variety of careers. This chart shows you the type of career job that they're doing, not necessarily the employer, because we have more, we have several students who are in manufacturing, but they're actually labeled as the architectural and CAD students. So they would fall under that 8%. But as you can see, we have a high number in health science, and that was due to COVID. We have a high number of CNA students this year. We have students who are serving as CNAs in Surry County Schools and Yadkin County Schools. We also have CNAs at Chatham Nursing and Rehab in Elkin. And then we have 13 pre-apprentice CNAs that are at Northern Regional Hospital. So I want to take a moment right there to share with you about Northern Regional Hospital. We are very excited that we signed the first youth apprenticeship program with them. And that is for LPN and RN. And what that means is, as these 13 students that are there now, as long as they're doing well and they want to continue their education and continue working at the hospital, they will get to go to Surry Community College and earn their LPN or their RN degree for free, all while continuing to work part-time. So that's a game changer for a lot of students and youth right there in those programs. And we're also working on other types of apprenticeship programs as well with a couple. Those apprenticeships really help students gives them the opportunity to continue their education for free. So this gives you a little picture of what we have right now and where students are. As you can see, wide variety, anywhere from marketing and sales to manufacturing floor to IT. We have a large variety of students interning. We even have students who are customer service representatives, so a wide variety. I'm going to let Dale come in and talk to you a little bit about our interns and some of our goals for the future.
Thank you, Crystal. And Randy, as you were talking a little earlier about Crystal, the chamber and the involvement in education, I remember back in the mid to late 90s, we had a program at the chamber called Partners in Education, PIE. But you know, it was basically a tutoring and reading program. And some of you on the call might remember that. The programs the chamber supports us now for education are light years ahead of that. And this is a great example of it. So, and our job fair. So thank you, Randy. And I look forward to this. I love talking about numbers, and you saw the graphs, you've seen it. But to me, this is the fun part of what we're doing in this program. It is unique because we're able to put 4 school systems together with our community college and make it work together. These are our interns from North Surry High School. I will tell you that as we start to grow the Elkin, the Mount Airy, and the Yadkin County programs, we had 2 or 3, I think, interns, Crystal, the first year at North Surry. And now you can see we've got 13. So that will grow with time. We just need to get the word out and build our partners. And we've got a wide range here from engineering interns to custodial to CNA to maintenance, just a great wide variety. And you may see a young lady in the lower right-hand corner that's of interest to a person on our call here today, Dr. Reeves at Weatherly there in the lower right-hand is his daughter. So she's doing a great job and really loves the program, and they love her at Interlam. So I think that's a great fit. So Crystal, if you could do the next one for me, we'll look at some of the interns at, what is the next one? I've got 2 or 3 screens up here. Here we go, Yadkin County. So this one was a stretch, like Crystal was saying. She started with these school systems probably October, November, and it is a process. It's not like the old days where you find a student, you take them to a business, they work it out. It is a multi-step process where you find out what the business wants. You get a job description, you go to the schools, you explain it. Then you've got to go back and forth to make the fit. So this was a lot of work for her to get the 13 or 15 that we have in the Mount Airy, Elkin, and Yadkin County systems. The majority of these that you see on the screen here in Yadkin County are CNAs, as Crystal was saying. We had a major need in our school systems and at a nursing facility in Elkin, and also with Northern Regional. But these interns here working at our schools have stepped up and really done a lot to help offset some of the workload on our nurses in the school system. And then you see Olivia down in the lower right. She is our intern from Yadkin Early College. We actually have a young man on this screen. I'll toot his horn a second. His name is Trevor. He's in the middle with the blue shirt. He is interning at Unify. And that's not typically where you're going to find an intern be able to go in and just make an impact immediately, because he's working in maintenance. They told me the first day he came in, they were working on a machine. He jumped in with both hands and helped them fix the machine on his first day as an intern. So I think that gives you an idea of the level of talent that we've got in all our school systems. So Crystal, if we could do the next one. These are students from Surry Central High School and Surry Early College. Again, because we had an established program, we do have more students from those programs. We've got, well, look in here, we've got a mechanic, we've got an office or a AutoCAD operator, we've got several CNA students, we've got an office assistant working with a business in Mount Airy. So really, we do have a lot of variety, and that's the beauty of this program. We can go out and talk to companies to see what they need. We have the best fit is if there's a program that comes close to that into the school system, because we want to give them an intern with some experience and knowledge of the job. It's not just career exploration. It is partly that, but mostly let's get my feet wet. I want to get my hands on something and do it. And that's where these kids are really they jump in within a week of being there. They're jumping in with both feet, taking on full shifts. Some of our CNAs are working 2 to 3 12-hour shifts a week. And that's amazing. That really helps the business. On our next slide, when we have Elkin, Mount Airy, and East Surry, and these again, we're looking at a wide variety, mostly CNAs, but we have a custodial employee who now has a tough choice to make. He is working at one of our local schools, didn't know really what he wants to do, but the supervisor of the custodial staff there is retiring, and he wants him to apply for a job there. I mean, that's how good he's been at what he's been doing and how valuable he is. So I think now he's got to make a decision about, does he want to do that or come to Surry and take some classes, or a combination of that. And we've got another young man on there that's working at Smith Road, learning about project management for a construction company. So that's also a great fit. Okay, Crystal, for next, please. This slide really is to help us remember that this program is for every student, not just the valedictorian and not just the student who's going to go straight into the workforce. In one of Crystal's first classes or of interns, she did have that. She had an intern who was the valedictorian of his school and a student with a 1.8 GPA, but he was passionate and excited about a vocational or a technical career. So that's where we come in, is we want to capture those students who may be lost in the system if they don't find this opportunity. So I think it's important that you can see we've got Workforce Unlimited, an IT intern, we've got a customer service rep at Surry Communications, and we've got a young lady who's one of the best welders we've had come through the program. And yes, the women in the program need to know this. Women make some of the best welders because of their attention to detail and their meticulous habits. So again, not only are we talking about getting students out there who may not go on to college, we're looking at non-traditional students. We've got a young man who's a CNA. That's not normal in our school system. So I think we're starting to see some students that are really blossoming because of this. And the old saying is, what you bloom where you grow, where you're planted. So we want to plant them here in Surry-Yadkin County and watch them bloom. Okay, Crystal, if we could, the next. This is a very important slide. We have our 17 business partners here, and you'll notice a lot of these are common names that Randy sees every day, because they are partners with both the chamber and with our school systems and with Surry-Yadkin Works. Without them, we could not do this. And I tell them every day, we take care of the paperwork, we get the students to you, but if you're not mentoring and working with that student every day and helping them learn the career and work ethic and what it means to be a good employee, then this program is not going to be successful. So in addition to these, we've been able to start to work with some companies in Yadkin and Elkin that are great partners, and we expect that this list will grow because we know I already have 5 in Elkin and Yadkin that want to be on next year that we don't have this year. So that list will continue to grow. So next slide, if you could, Crystal. Yeah, the possibilities really are endless because we have so many different ways that we can help a student. The internships in the school system, as Crystal said, is critical. We've got to keep those going because that's where students find out and explore careers. But when you want to go to the next level, you want to look at our paid internships or pre-apprentice and apprenticeship programs. That's where you take the next step to decide that's going to be a career you may be interested in, and how do I get that training? As Crystal said, in our apprenticeship program, you can get a $6,000, $7,000 2-year degree for free if you go through these programs and complete them successfully. And then, of course, at the bottom, that's our major emphasis, either part-time or full-time jobs. We want our students, I'm sorry, they're all kids to me, to be interested in a career, but we want them to be interested in a career here so that they don't leave us. So those are some of the things. And then the bottom line is, it is about economic development. Randy knows this. Todd Tucker and Bobby Todd and Yadkin will both tell us that sometimes they struggle to get companies to come here because we don't have enough qualified employees. This is a way we can help fix that, because now we can show our young kids that there are opportunities here. And as they grow, Todd and Bobby can use that as an economic development tool for companies, not only who want to expand here, but who may want to grow here and move here. Okay, Crystal, if we could do the last one. This is our closeout slide, basically some information. And I would ask that everyone, if you get a minute, go on our website, Surry-YadkinWorks.org. Olivia has done a great job of spotlighting, number one, all of our interns and where they work and what they do. But we also have a page on our partners, and we have a link to their website so you can go click on it and find out what they do. And then right now at this time of the year, our most important page is where the students go apply. And on that page, we have a list of potential positions that we've worked with companies on and what's coming up so that they can see what's available and see what fits them versus just coming in and saying, I want a paid internship. And we hear that a lot. We hear a lot of parents and students. They just walk in and say, I want a paid internship. And we have to sort of mentor them and guide them to the point where, all right, well, yeah, that's great, but what do you really want to do for a career? Let's try to make that match versus just finding you a paycheck. So that can be very interesting. So with that, Crystal, I'll turn it back over to you and see if there's anything else you'd like to say to close it out.
Thank you, Dale. We would definitely, like Dale said, encourage you to check out the website because I feel like that gives you a really good overall view of the program, the students, and the businesses. But Dale did a great job. And I think what we would love to do now is open it up for questions and talk and have some conversations about the program. I also saw, thought I saw John Tarn come on at some point. He may not be on here anymore, but we had an intern with them in the fall. And so he has some experience with an intern through the program. Lots of great business partners locally and students who have been able to stay at those businesses either part-time while they continue their education or full-time employees.
Since we have Dr. Reeves with us, give him a minute to say anything relative to Surry-Yadkin Works that he would like to share with us.
All right, thank you, Randy. Well, first of all, I want to thank Crystal and Dale for their leadership with this program, and it's truly their job is really essentially they're a matchmaker. They put our students in a position to be successful, but that requires a great deal of relationship building, trust. And so they work really hard with businesses to create that trust because businesses, you have a certain criteria, expectations. You want to make sure that anyone working in your business is meeting all of those expectations and representing your business with pride. And our students, we want to make sure they're in a position where they will be successful. And they're not just there as an observer. We're not really wanting to put kids in positions where they're, just there. We want them to be an integral part of the business where they have a job, they feel meaningful. And what's cool is to hear the students say, my business, my job. And so they take ownership and then the businesses take ownership of the students. And it's really neat to see the relationships grow from beginning day one to the end of the internship or beyond, because many of our students get hired. So it's just such an important part of what we're trying to do to really change education in a positive way, because I believe, and this is a great example, we've got to take education outside of the brick and mortar of our high schools into the real world. And this is a way that we can do that in a controlled environment with Crystal and Dale, and you have mentors and there's evaluations. And so our students are getting the best of both worlds. They're getting college credentials, they're getting college training, and they're getting supervision by business mentors. So they're not set up for just, here are the keys, have at it. There's a lot that goes into that. And Esther, I can't say enough about Surry Community College. They have every time we have ideas that they come to the table ready to partner with us. So Dr. Shockley's been great during this process and helping us establish the program and really providing the training. And Don, I'll answer this question as a parent, but you said it looks like students are fired up. How are you connecting with parents to create a new mindset? I may say that I think we're creating a new mindset for businesses, because I think the students, what drives students is motivation, and what drives motivation is being interested. And so with Crystal and Dale, if my daughter is interested in art and creative and writing, if she's interested in those things, that's going to intrinsically motivate her. We just need to put her in the right position where she can apply what she's interested in. So we have students in all of our high schools that really love those things. It's just, how do we connect them to the right people in the community to safely explore some of those interests? that's what the program's doing. And then word of mouth, when these kids have a paycheck and they're bringing home their friends see them, you know, hey, where'd you get those new shoes? Where'd you get that new purse? How are you making that car payment? That speaks louder than words. And so parents really appreciate it.
Have any of y'all found that sometimes the internship will change their opinion, and that, boy, I really thought I wanted to be whatever, an auto mechanic, until I got involved in it and talked to a lot of people. And have you found any interns like that have kind of come back to you and said, boy, I love the program, but now I'm interested in something else?
Yes, for sure. Previously, when I was just with Surry County Schools, I did this similar work for 3 years, and we had 92% of students that were either really happy with the work they were doing and continued in that job, or B, continued their education in that pathway. So if they were doing an engineering internship, they loved it. So then they continued on their college education engineering. But that means that 8% went, whoa, not for me. And I thought that was just as valuable, that we have a high school student, a senior in high school, instead of going off to college, accruing debt for a degree that they may have ended up hating. They figured out right then that this was not the right pathway for them.
Right.
But they also figured out other ways they could go within a pathway that's good for them. So it's a valuable tool for both parties.
We're not sitting on what we're doing right now and saying we're good with it. We're looking for ways to grow this program and offer more opportunities to students. So this summer, we will start a masonry pre-apprenticeship program for students, and we're working on a maintenance and engineering pre-apprenticeship program. So those are ways I think we can even offer more opportunities for our students and address those needs, because we know in construction, they are really hurting for masons and plumbers and electricians and HVAC.
Yeah.
So we've got to address those too. So thank you for bringing that up.